What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central. The Bulls take on the Atlanta Hawks today. Can the Chicago Bulls come away with a victory and make it 3-0 to start the season, which will be the first time doing that in over 5 years? We're going to talk about it all and more, but you know what we got to do first? Got to play that intro. What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content today, y'all. The Chicago Bulls are taking on the Atlanta Hawks today, and the Bulls are hoping to keep their winning streak going. The Bulls have started off this season very strong, the defense being one of the main reasons why the Bulls are off to this strong start as well. Feels really good because defense has not always been the Bulls' strong suit, as many people know, but the Bulls this season are one of the best defensive teams in the league. As a matter of fact, the Chicago Bulls not only are one of the best defensive teams in the league, they're actually leading the league in defensive rating. So the Bulls are actually playing really, really good when it comes down to it, and that's really what you love to see, man. You love to see this team just continue to play the way that they have been. Continue to lock in, because if they do that, things are going to go really well for this Bulls team overall. So gotta love that. A lot of defensive pressure in this game, a lot of things that really matter as far as the Bulls trying to walk away with another victory in this game as well. And the hope is that the Bulls are going to come into this one. We do know that Josh Giddey is a full go today, so there were some initial questions on if Josh Giddey was going to play today or not. Josh Giddey is a full go, so he will be a full participant in this game. Doesn't sound like there's any minutes restriction or anything. It's going to come down to tolerance, but let that be something to look out for today, right? And the reason why I say that is that if Josh Giddey gets that hand smacked or slapped or anything like that, it could very well, push that to be a little tough there. So just look out for that part of it. Again, I'm not saying that that's necessarily going to be the case, but it is definitely something that you want to look out for and watch for if you're the Chicago Bulls coming into this game. So, but defense has been the name of the game for the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls are actually towards the bottom of the league when it comes to offense, but towards the top of the league when it comes to defense. And, that's without Coby White playing. So you think that offense is going to take a nice shot in the arm once Coby White comes back. Now, the defense may drop off a little bit too, but you want those things to both kind of meet in the middle, right? And just the intensity that this team has played with to start off the year has been palpable. It's been felt. Tre Jones has had an amazing, kind of impact on this Bulls team since he's been here, which is really good for that as well. So the Bulls are locked in, man. And everything that we've heard in the offseason, physicality, defense, all these things have very much so paid off for the Bulls and has looked pretty damn good for the Bulls so far. And so, you love to see when the offseason talk isn't just talk. It's actually something that you can tell there is something that the teams are working on. And so that's really good. By the way, y'all let me know if I sound okay. Different mic today. My the mic that I've had that I had basically since I ever started podcasting went out today. So I had to make a transition to a different mic. This isn't going to be the permanent new mic, but it may be around for a while. But I'm trying to get all the settings right because I've had the same mic for so long that I knew the settings like the back of my hand. So if something sounds off, just let me know, and I'll try to figure it out. But outside of that, just the Bulls got to come into this game and hang their hat on the defense. Especially with their ability, Io's ability to shut down Trae Young. You want to double down on that. You want to rely on that. Isaac Okoro is going to be really important in that as well, for that. So all those things are really important for the Bulls today. And, they still got to take care of business offensively. But defensively first, especially with Tre Jones and the impact that he's had on this team defensively. You know what? I mean, as much as Io is Tre Jones' father, Trae Young's father, I want to see some Tre Jones on Trae Young. Because they both have very similar physical matchups, right? Makeups. But Tre Jones is a lot more physical of a player than what we typically see Tre Jones to be. So, that's something to look out for there. Also, when it all comes down to it. So, overall, fun game, hopefully tonight. Hopefully the Bulls compete. Win, lose, or draw. I just want to see the Bulls be competitive, right? You're not going to win every game, and I already know there are going to be some Bulls fans that are gonna. Oh my God, I knew it. As soon as the Bulls lost, oh my God, I knew it. I knew the Bulls weren't real. I knew it wasn't legit. You're going to see all that. You're going to see all of that. But I think overall, like, the Bulls, you know they're not going to win every game. The question becomes about the games that you do lose. How well do you play in those games? Are you competitive in those games? You're not going to go through a season like the Bulls aren't the Warriors. They're not the 90s Bulls. They're not going to win 70-plus games, right? Even at the best, they're not going to win that. So because of that, you're going to have a loss in there. But are you competitive in those losses? And that's really what it comes down to for the Bulls. Or can you be competitive even in losses? And, it is what it is. I'm more level-headed than a lot of people when it comes to Bulls and reviewing this and the tank and all that. Like, I like to think I'm a lot more level-headed in regards to those things. So take that for what you will. But I think overall it's just going to come down to how well does this Bulls team compete today? And the Hawks are a team that, for all it's worth, they made a lot of acquisitions this year for defense. Asa Newell, defense. They drafted defense. Signing Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Trading for Kristaps Porzingis, right? Now, Kristaps is a two-way player, especially when he's healthy, but you're trying to find, they wanted to find that defensive balance to kind of help with some of the shortcomings that Trae Young has. And their defense has been terrible. Their offense has been bad. Like, the Hawks have not found their rhythm yet. Now, that's not to say that they can't find it. And the Bulls got to be prepared for that, because do not come into this game lacking and thinking that it's just going to be easy because the Hawks have played bad through 3 games. It's still early in the season. There are a lot of teams still trying to find their way. But I think when it comes down to all that, we'll see, right? You don't want the Hawks to find their rhythm in the season and win against the Bulls, right? You don't want the Hawks to find their balance in a win against the Bulls. You don't want that. And we'll see how that ends up working out for this team. We'll see how it ends up working out. But overall, really excited about this game. I think this is going to be a really fun game today. The Hawks and the Bulls games always comes down to the wire. I look at the number of overtime games we've had against the Hawks over the last handful of years. Like, it's legitimate there. So we'll see. As a mate says, need to keep up the same intensity and physicality if we want to win today. Pressure their shooters and force hard shots. Not wrong. You're not wrong at all there, brother. Haize, what's going on, man, yo? What's up, Haize? What's going on, Baki? Baki in the building. Shout out to Baki. What up, Haize? Let's get that W tonight and start 2-0 at home. Hey, listen, you know what? This is one thing I do miss. And I know this isn't like basketball talk, but one thing I do miss is the days where coming into Chicago was tough for teams. You remember that, like, over the Derrick Rose era, over the, even before Derrick Rose, the Kirk Heinrich and Luol Deng and Ben Gordon Bulls, like, when you came into Chicago, things were tough. And we haven't really been that for a while, right? Like, I would love for us to be that home team that when you come into the city of Chicago, you know you're in for a hard-fought game. And if you want to win, you're going to have to play tough. I really hope that if we can get that identity with reestablishing some defensive identity as well, that can make this season fun by itself alone, right? Baki says, the Bulls playing well is surprising. I'm not going to lie. I don't have faith in AK or this roster. Hey, Baki, the way that I look at it is this, right? And I like to look at things like very straightforward. The Bulls won 39 games last season. In the start of that season, they were still very much playing isolation ball. This team is not a worse team than what it was last year. It just wasn't. Now, I get not having faith, but this isn't a worse roster than last year. So I don't think they've gotten any worse. And I think with Modest taking a step up, right, adding more defense to this roster that's going to be healthy with Isaac Okoro, right, Ayo Dosunmu being healthy, who wasn't healthy last year. I probably have more faith in this roster than some, but it's not that I think they're going to be I'm not in the camp where I'm like, oh, the Bulls are going to make it to the second round. I'm just saying that the Bulls are progressing, and we're going to have to continue to refine some things. We have a lot of money available this offseason to go out there and get hopefully our center of the future, whether it's in the draft or whatever else. But I just think that this team is making forward steps. I think that we are a team that's progressing and moving forward, and that's really all you can ask for. And I, for one, whoa, what just happened there? And I'm, for one, happy that it seems like we're actually moving forward. So that's all I can say on that one. Whoa, that just refreshed on me. All right, there we go. We back. I'm back. First time this year catching the show when we have a game this season. Keep doing your thing, bro. What up, CP? Glad to have you in the building. You already know I'm here every game. I'm going to be here every game. That's not going to change. I ain't going nowhere. The channel ain't going nowhere. We're going to be here. I need to see Io put his son in the timeout again. Well, that's why I said, like, imagine this. Trae Young is either going to have to get Trey Jones, Isaac Okoro, or Io DeSumo on him every possession he plays. He's going to have one of those three players on him. I feel pretty confident about that. And when you see the Hawks, when you can disrupt Trae Young, you can disrupt the Hawks offense. Now, I do think that they've started to come out of that with Jalen and those type of players. They're starting to have more offense even when Trae Young is not necessarily himself. But if you can disrupt Trae, you can find your way. You can find your way to beating this team. I really do feel that way. Sounds fine to me. Glad. Sound like you have. Oh well, yeah. I'm still recovering from losing my voice. So that's not the mic. That's just me. That's just me at the start of the season. I didn't even notice it was a different mic. I mean, most people. So this is gonna sound like a humble brag. I'm so good at EQing now. I could probably make almost any mic sound the exact same, right? Because I'm good at EQing my mics. And I hate the SM7. I hate the SM7B. I really do hate it. I hate the SM7B. I don't think it sounds good on my voice, but I've learned to EQ to make things sound decent on my voice. But I can't wait to get my EV RE20 back, like on this side of the studio. I still have the one on the other side of the studio, but I can't wait to get my EV20 back, man, because I am not a sure SM7B guy at all. I know that's like the podcast mic for people, but that's not. I don't like that mic at all. Do we know the last time we started 3-0? Feels like a long time. Yeah, 5 years. I believe it's been 5 years since we started 3-0. Free NBA League Pass over the weekend was nice to see some good games for free. Oh, well, I pay for it every year. It comes out of my bank account at the same time every year. I don't even think about it because I have to have League Pass, especially now that I'm doing Locked On NBA, NBA Central. Matter of fact, I need y'all all to go type in NBA Central Haize. And go subscribe to NBA Central. I'm trying to get that channel popping. I post over there probably 2 or 3 times a week, but I need y'all. I need y'all to support me over there. It's a little distorted, but my studio monitors pick. I don't know if that's true. I know you're a producer, so I'm gonna trust you. Test. It sounds perfectly fine on my side. Maybe that's why. See, that's why every mic is not meant to stream, right? Or maybe are you also hearing the raspiness of my voice? Because my voice is jacked. My voice has been jacked for a while. But yeah, I don't want to get caught up in podcast stuff that nobody cares about. Hopefully Modest plays a better game tonight. Last game wasn't his best. I mean, he was barely on the court. It's hard to have a good game when you're barely on the court, but Modest needs to wake up from that. You are too important to be fouling out in 12 minutes. Way too important for that. Luckily, P. Will was able to step in and play really solid on both sides of the ball was P. Will. And we needed that, especially with Modest being out. Is Giddey playing? Yes, Giddey is playing today, brother. The game is going to be a tough one for the Bulls. I mean, listen, the Hawks have started off the season very slow. The Hawks have almost started off how people thought the Bulls were going to start off. But the matchup against the Hawks, like I said, it's always a tough game. Always close games when we take on the Hawks, every single time. Haize, I apologize for my voicemail today, but man, analysts are stupid fans getting on my nerves, saying we have to lose to get better. It's not the only way. I mean, listen, people are going to say it. It is what it is. Now, I am level-headed in my Bulls. Now, I'll go off on a motherfucker, but I'm talking about in the way that I look at the team, I'm level-headed because I look at things as what they are. Like, I'm not somebody who's going to flip out about the Bulls not tanking. I understand what's trying to go on there. And we'll just get it together. By the way, did y'all see that Mac McClung got a multi-year deal with the Pacers? Shout out to Mac McClung. Now the Bulls are going to have to go and find another point guard for the Windy City Bulls this year. Hopefully Modest shows up today and stays out of foul trouble. Let's be clear. It's not like he has a history of being in foul trouble a lot. For a young big that is a shot blocker, he does a pretty good job at staying out of foul trouble for his career. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. We'll see how it goes. But overall. Tonight's matchup, I could see Julian and Dalen getting some more minutes than usual. Yeah, I mean, I think, especially with injuries and just overall, like, I'll say this, like, Julian and Dalen haven't necessarily played bad in the minutes that they've gotten, right? So Hopefully that continues to develop because they haven't played bad. So there's that part of it. Hey, fam, how's it going? Definitely a tough game. Got to lock in. The Bulls need to prepare for every game like it's a playoff game. I say the same thing about the Bears. You are not good enough. You have not had winning at a consistent enough level for you to slack off in any shape, form, or fashion. Every game you need to prepare like it's a playoff game. Period, point blank. Is my Bulls head off? Is that off? Now that's going to drive me fucking crazy. Where's my double-sided tape at? I'll fix it. As soon as we get off this mug, I'm fixing it. Now I'm going to be looking at that the whole time. God damn it, I hate when I notice. OCD is a motherfucker, y'all. OCD and ADHD is a motherfucker. Jalen and Patrick Williams and Okoro need a good game. Well, we need good games from everybody. Like, ideally, especially with how the depth and the way that we like to play connected as a team, you want everybody to be solid. Like, I think ideally for the Bulls this year, you want 5, 6 players averaging double figures, maybe even 7. Right? I think that's kind of what you need for this team. And we've had about 6 or 7 guys in each game in double figures. You need to keep that up. That needs to be part of the identity of this team. You got to keep that up. Had a dream last night about this game. The Bulls are getting gritty with the physicality. That's what I want to see. Hey, I'm right there with you, bro. Like, I want to see physicality. I want to see them play tough. I want to see all of that. All of that. Modest needs to take Zachary. First of all, has Zachary Richard finally not ducking Modest Buzelis? Good, because he's been ducking him, and we need to see that, right? I've been enjoying the bench unit and its relative competitiveness. Looking forward to this one. The Bulls bench is legit, man. It's really legit. It looks really, really good. We just got to see if it's going to be a consistent part of this team, but so far it does. The bench unit looks really, really good. And I'm proud of him. Yeah, if we gain that new identity, like you said, on defense and the physicality, it could turn into a problem for teams coming to Chicago. Listen, that's what you want, man. That is ideally what you want when you're building a team. You want it to be tough for when teams come in to face you. You want it to be tough for them. You want it to be tough on them, and hopefully the Bulls can continue to build off that. This roster has potential. Last game, our points per player had a great spread. Everyone was putting up. We might not have the stars, but we look like we are starting to have cohesion. I mean, and that was the thing that finished last season. Like, so many people, and rightfully so, I'm not saying that it's wrong, make a lot about how Josh Giddey and Kobe White finished that season, right? And that's fine. But I think outside of that, you also have to look at, we did it as a team, especially before Trae Young got hurt. We were doing it as a team, spreading the ball out. So, like, there's a lot of those same sensibilities have come into this season with added physicality, with added defensive pressure. So, things are going to be really good. Is anyone out on the Hawks? I do not think so. Hold on, let me check your injury report. Give me 1 second, bro. I will check that for you. Hawks injury report. Jalen Johnson is listed as day-to-day. He did do shoot-around today. Zachary Richard, so Richard, Porzingis, and Jalen Johnson are all listed as day-to-day. I wonder if they have updated their official status. Give me 1 second. Let's go and check their. So funny having to go to Twitter for, like, actual news. Let's see. All right, there we go. I don't see anything. So I don't know if they're waiting to announce it late, which could be a thing there as well. But yeah, I don't see anything. Yeah. Seems like everybody may be a full go, bro. Seems like it. What is that? Bam. All right. Jeremy in the building says, if Vucevic can give us 17 points and 12 rebounds a game, I would be cool with that. I mean, yeah, that's basically what he's giving us. He's giving us 18 and 11. So, yeah, I think, anything like Vooch just average a double-double. Like whatever that double-double looks like, give us a double-double. That's what we need from Nikola Vucevic. What's going on, Anthony? Glad to have you in the building, brother. Watch out for Dyson Daniels. He's a steal machine. Oh, absolutely. Dyson Daniels, the way that he gets takeaways is ridiculous. He's like a free safety, man. Like it's really crazy. And he's very consistent with it on top of that. So you got to look out for that. The Horns Over Hoops podcast. Shout out to Horns Over Hoops. Said I got the Bulls by less than 5. You know, the fact that we haven't done an episode together yet is crazy. By the way, you haven't sent me an invite too, so I'm holding that against you. I'm not. I'm just joking. But shout out to Horns Over Hoops, man. Haize, if you can remember, when's the last time Chicago Bulls won 7 in a row? The first season of Lonzo Ball, DeMar DeRozan. Right? Didn't we win 9 in a row right then? That's probably the last time. Y'all bogus, hit the like button. Shout out to, I don't know if that's C-Dub or Bobby, but shout out to C-Dub or Bobby, man. Y'all go support them over there. Bro got Caleb Grill and Wooga Poplar. Windy City is good. Neither one of those guys are point guards. So, no, we're not good. We still need a point guard. Bro, you sound like Barry White announcing the game. Raspy. Hey, listen. It is what it is. I'm just glad that I still got a voice. That's it. Haize is on one side of the pendulum. Matt Peck is on the other. See, no, like, I'm just in the middle. Like, I just look at this team and I say they haven't got, like, I don't think they're the greatest thing on earth. I think that the Bulls still are going to have a lot of roster decisions that they need to make this offseason. And they still got a lot that they need to do before we could say that they're a consistent, like, a actual playoff team that can win a series. But I'm just not like Peck, where in the sense is like, oh my God, everything is bad. Get rid of everybody. Let Kobe walk. Let Josh Giddey walk. Why are we doing this? Oh my God, it's been 10 years since a playoff. Like, all right, well, how are we going to get there? You got to play. You got to play the games. You got to be tough. So, it is what it is. I'm just not a complainer like that, right? Like, don't get me wrong. I'll evaluate some stuff and I'll say, hey, this is what sucks. This is what you need to get better. But like, and I'm not saying Peck is this necessarily either, but like, Ricky O'Donnell definitely is. Like, I'm sorry. Like, shout out to Ricky. He's been in this community a long time, and he's been very successful, so shout out to his success. But Ricky O'Donnell he just whines and complains so much. It's like, why are you covering the team that you whine about? Every single, it's like, my boy, like, there's no way in hell that you touching coochie regularly and you this upset about a Bulls team. Like, come on, bro. Go touch some dirt. Go out there and get in the world. Go swim, my boy. Like, do something. It's crazy. It's crazy. Bulls can't even slack off against the Wizards. Listen, until you get it together and are winning consistently, I'm talking about consistently 5 to 6 games above 500, you can't slack off against anybody. Now, if we're a team that we're like, every year we finish about 10, 15 games above 500, all right, you may look at the Nets and be like, Josh, you want to sit today? You want to sit? Who wants to sit today? We're playing the Nets. Pat, you want to sit? Like, then you could do some shit like that. But, like, until you do that, like, you can't slack off again. You ain't accomplished shit. You ain't accomplished shit. So, there you go on that one. Atlanta has not played all that well. We have to take advantage, set the tone early, and play with confidence that we've been doing, Bulls Nation. Completely agree with you, Alex. 100% agree with you. Like the Atlanta Hawks have not caught their rhythm yet as a team. A lot of new pieces on that team. I think that they will catch it eventually. And so don't let them catch it against you today. So the mic doesn't sound too bad. I knew something was off as soon as you started. I started adjusting my sound. The mic still sounds 1,000 times better than that boom stick you had. Oh, bro, the boom mic was crazy. The boom mic was crazy. This game going to come down to the last few minutes like it always does when we play this team. I mean, it doesn't always come down to the last few minutes, but it does come down to the fourth quarter, right? But we'll see what happens today. Like I said, the Hawks have not been playing all that well, but it's early in the season. And so you can't really – it'd be different if we were 15, 20 games into the season and the Hawks were like 2-8. I mean, 2-18 if I can count. But, like, they still got a lot of time. They're 1-2, right? So one win gets them at 500. So don't come in here sleeping against this team. This may be a bad take, but I think until Kobe get back, we're going to need to grind it out if you want to win a lot. Well, we need to grind it out regardless. Be that team. You need to grind it out regardless. So, damn, bro, I copped the Shure SM7B about 6 months ago, still unboxed back. So I've had this SM7B for probably about 4 years and haven't used it because I don't like the way it sounds on my voice. Like the SM7B is a really good mic as far as like recording vocals, like voiceover and stuff like that. Streaming, I just don't think it's the best streaming mic. And like I said, I don't think it's the best mic for my voice either. Like and so there's no mic that universally sounds great on everybody's voice. There just isn't, right? And so Shure mics, whatever their sound profile is. Now I haven't started messing with the low pass filter and stuff. Maybe that helps a little bit. But it just never really sounded good on my voice. I've never really liked the way that they've sound. I don't like the sound profile of the SM7B. I know that that's the podcast that oh my God, you got to get an SM7B. It's the best. Like, but I think like people used to think about that about the Blue Yeti, and that mic is trash, right? So I think overall it just comes down to what works for your voice and how you EQ it. That's the thing. I think that's an important part of it. I'm really fucking with Paul this year. He was meant to be a do-it-all player, good at everything, master of none types guy. And it sounds like the perfect bench guy. Sounds like the perfect bench guy is what that sounds like. And like I said, he's never going to live up to being drafted 4th overall. He's never going to live up to the $19 million contract. That's just not going to happen. But that doesn't mean that he still can't be a productive NBA player. And that's what I'm focused at right now when it comes to Patrick Williams. Are you productive in your role? If you're doing that, great, right? That's all I'm looking at for P. Will now. The money ain't coming out of my pocket, so I'm not worried about the money part of it. I'm not paying the motherfucker. So I'm not worried about his contract. I'm not worried about anything like that. I'm more so just worried about and how the Bulls are using him. Is he being productive in that role? And if he is, great, we're good. Like that's it. I don't think the Bulls are asking him to do too much anymore. I don't think the Bulls are looking for him to be a starter right now or anything like that. They're just asking him to come out, play the game, hit open shots, play tough defense. And I think like one thing that we're seeing for P. Will too is that the foot injury definitely I think hurt him defensively last year. I think now only through 2 games we can say maybe it was the foot that really was the reason he took such a step back defensively. If he can get back to that consistently for the season, there's definitely going to be a spot for him in the rotation. It's going to be a spot for him, period. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I got to mute my mic real quick. Give me 1 second. My bad. Had a parent real quick. Do not take a damn 3. When you do, you get a steal on the fast break. Keep it simple. Attack the bucket. Attack the rim. And that's like the Bulls are one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league so far. Not per percentage, but per volume. They're not taking a lot of 3-point shots. That's a real big change to our shot profile that is noticeable. It's legitimate, and that's what we've been wanting to see from this team. How many DNPs will be enough for Noah to get some reps to the Windy? Well, the Windy City Bulls season doesn't start to November. So that's why he hasn't played because the Windy City Bulls aren't playing yet. He will probably be down there as soon as their training camp opens, which I believe their training camp opens next week is when the Windy City Bulls training camp opens. So he'll probably be there with their training camp. I hope P. Will keeps beasting on defense for real. He beating off all. Bro, read that sentence, bro. Read the sentence. Read that sentence. He beating off all them brothers coming for his throne? Like you typed that and you didn't notice why you were typing that, what you were typing? Like, I just want to know, like you didn't pick up on that. There was no part in your soul that said pause. There was no part in your soul that said, hey, hold on, wait a second, I'm wilding. There's no part in your soul that picked up on any of that. That's crazy. That's wild. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is wild. That's it. He said he's beating off all those dudes. That's crazy. Deanna in the building. Shout out to Deanna. We got Vern says, up, brother. If P. Will can give us a solid 10 to 12 points per game and really solid defensively, that's enough for him to just slide to just a solid role player. He won't live up to the hype of the 4. I don't even think he needs to average 10. Like, I mean, if you can, great. Like 10 and solid defense coming off the bench is pretty much what you want. That's insane, bro. Like, I'm literally reading through it and I'm like, hey, bro, that's wild, bro. That's crazy. Like that's wild, bruh. He knew what he was doing. He had to know what he was doing. There's no way that you can convince me that TBO didn't know what he was doing when he wrote that comment, bro. Because that's crazy. That's crazy. Yes, Giddey is playing tonight. Giddey is playing. Anybody else who's coming in asking, Joshua Giddey is playing today. He is playing. That's crazy. Beating off all those. That's crazy. That's a crazy bar. That's wild. That's crazy. What was bro thinking when he typed that, bro? I have no idea, man. I have no idea. That was crazy. Since Trey Jones cooking when he goes to the bench, they will have been even better. But who is losing minutes? Dalen Terry. Well, Dalen Terry isn't getting a lot of minutes already. I mean, yeah, I think you just balance out your rotation. Like, it's going to be, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of those minutes that are going to a bunch of role players get consolidated into one. Because Trey's definitely getting his minutes. If people will average 15 by trade deadline, do we trade? Yes, absolutely. No doubt in my mind. If God damn it, P. Will is averaging 15 points per game by the trade deadline, get that motherfucker up out of here right now. Whoever is calling with the best trade offer, get him out of here. And listen, no knock on him at all, right? But I just don't know if I would trust that P. Will is going to keep it consistent. I just don't know if I trust that. Now, if the Bulls look at that and say, hey, we really trust the internal development that P. Will has done, cool. If you trust that, good, great, do it, knock it out, right? But me personally, for me, I wouldn't trust that P. Will is going to do it again. So I'm moving his ass ASAP. He got to go. Get the fuck up out of here. I'm sorry. I love you. Peace to your granny, but we got to get you up out of here. I will hand deliver him to whoever. TBO. That's who it is since he's beating off players, but that's crazy. We're going to have so much cap space next season. Imagine that with the winning season. Listen, that's what I say. Like, there are a couple of things, right? And I'll wait until we get further in the season to do this video. But I said it before. When you want to attract free agents, you have to have one of a few things. One, you have to either have a team that has been winning or a team that's going in the direction that they're clearly going to be winning more. Two, you have to have somebody that players want to play with, whether that's a young, promising player or a veteran that can recruit. You have to have some of that, right? Three, you have to have a front office or a coach that players want to come play for and that they trust. We don't got the front office that players believe in. Not yet. I don't think so. We haven't won consistently yet. And Modest is turning into that young player that maybe people want to come play with. But, a winning season goes a long way, especially if the Bulls overachieve to the sense where, like, let's say they make it out the play-in. Let's say that they, by some type of crazy happenstance, they make it out. They pass the play-in. They qualify for the playoffs straight out. Something like that. When you have tons of cap space and you have a season like that, it really can change some things for you. Now, I'm not saying that I'm predicting that to necessarily happen. I'm just saying that those are some of the things that need to happen for us to get to where this front office wants us to be. And we'll see if that can end up happening. We'll see if the Bulls can make that happen this season. People can go beat off players on another team if he's averaging 15 a game. That's crazy. That's wild, bro. If you trade P. Will and he's healthy, unlike need P. Will for the defense. If you trade P. Will and he's healthy, unlike we need P. Will. Rob, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm tired and old. Maybe it's just I have no fucking idea what you're trying to say, bro. I'm just being 120% honest. I have no fucking idea what you're trying to say. None. I tried. My brain literally just broke right now. If the medical staff trusts the injury, you keep P. Will for defense versus the top guys like we saw Detroit and Orlando. I mean, here's the thing, though, and I get what you're getting at, and there's that, but you also have to think about longevity. Don't get so caught up in the now because you can get other defenders, especially if you got cap space in the offseason. But I get what you're getting at. Like, that's definitely a valid and a really good point there for sure. The injury history was one of the fluke injury on the wrist and the 1 foot issue, which derailed 2 years. Well, here's the thing, though. When you keep having fluke injuries, at some point you're still injury prone. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. Like, Zion's injuries aren't just straightforward injuries. There are a lot of fluke injuries in that. But when you keep having fluke injuries, at some point, it's you. Regardless if the injury is the same or not, it's still you, right? And that's just the way that I think of it. We need a tank to draft Darren. Listen, we're not tanking. The front office has showed it. They're not tanking. So everybody, listen, if you come in here and you're like, we need a tank to do X, Y, Z, okay, cool. That's your opinion. You're entitled to it. But when somebody tells you who they are, you believe them. The front office has told us several times. They have shown us they have no interest in tanking. Tanking ain't coming to Chicago. I don't know what to tell you guys on that. The tanking is not coming to the city of Chicago. It's not happening. I get why you want it. I can understand the thought process behind it. But in reality, it ain't coming. They have no interest in tanking. This is not a franchise. This is not a team that has any interest or appetite in tanking. Witten is going to go crazy if Billy Donovan pulls off Coach of the Year in this type of team defense focused in basketball. I'll wait for 20-game sample and see where we're at, but fun to watch so far. If Billy Donovan wins Coach of the Year, I think I have Witten. Do I have Witten's number? I don't know if I have Witten's number, but I'm going to get Witten's number. I don't care if I got to file it with the FBI. I'm going to find Witten's number, and I'm calling him ASAP like, nigga, get on this show with me. I need you. I know you're not a podcaster, but I need you, bro. Like that's exactly what I do. But do we even trust the Bulls medical staff? That's the biggest question. I mean, listen, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I need a dub tonight. I can't handle another loss like we experienced on Sunday against the Bears. I'm still recovering from it. Oh, well, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, like I said, anything's possible, and I'm not going to say that the Bulls necessarily win this game because the Hawks haven't looked the best. The Bulls got to come in here and compete, and we'll see. We shall see what's going to happen here. Do you think we have more of a solid base to build from now if we choose to add a star in the offseason as opposed to when we got DeMar, fit was bad? Well, no, the fit when we got DeMar was solid because we had Lonzo, right? Then the fit threw off. I do think now you're seeing not only do we have players that fit together, but we have players that fit a modern play style, right? And that goes a long way. And I think there's a lot of versatility in how the Bulls play basketball as well. There's a lot of different lineups that they can throw out there, a lot of different options. So, yeah, I think that, there is more synergy between the roster that we have now than then, but we'll see. We shall see. Yeah, true. Just worried about falling off on the defense. And I get your concern. Like I'm not saying that the concern is unwarranted. It's definitely a warranted concern for sure. I just look more at that as a value. But I mean, like I said, if the Bulls look at what P. Will brings, and they're like, listen, P. Will has turned himself into a player that we feel is key to the defense that we want to play. If he's being consistent in it, I can understand it. So. We shall see. I mean, that's really all I can say on it is that we shall see what comes of it, man. Because it can go a lot of different ways, but we will see. Even if the Bulls decided to tank, they're not guaranteed to get the first pick. Last time the worst team got the first pick was 2018. Shout out to Inside the Horseshoe Podcast coming with the stats, bro. That's wild. But not surprising. And, and especially since the lottery odds have flattened, we've seen that as well. All right, Bulls announced the starting five, same starting five. Josh Giddey at the 1, Trey Jones at the 2, Isaac Okoro at the 3, Modest Buzelis at the 4, Nikola Vucevic is your starting center. So there goes the lineup. Let's see what the Bulls can do with it, man. I think it's going to be a fun game today. Let's get out there. Let's get it. Let's try to get to 3-0. But that is my time. I'm going to go ahead and chill into the live call. Got about 20 minutes. Make sure you guys are following us at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, but that is thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See you right if you can, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.